Welcome to Missouri Field in Bowling Green, Ohio. BGSU softball set to face off against Kent State in their home opening MAC series of the 2025 season. Ben Korak here with Kevin Hutchinson from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Kevin, it's your first broadcast ever, and it should be a fun, tight matchup between Kent State and Bowling Green. How do you feel today?
Yeah,
man?
I'm super excited. This is, like you said, a tight matchup, two very evenly matched teams. Losing records at the moment, but obviously each looking to notch a win, and Bowling Green looking to make a statement in their home MAC opener.
Only one game apart in the win and loss column, that just being a loss. One more for Kent State, 7-18 for Bowling Green. And you mentioned how tight these two teams are. You know, we look at the strengths and the weaknesses for both teams. It seems, Kevin, like the pitching has been a real weakness for both of these sides. An 8.2 ERA for Kent State this season and a 6.0 ERA for Bowling Green this season, both kind of trailing in the MAC stats right now. Both teams have struggled in the pitching staff. We're going to get Ella Johnson starting today for Kent State, and we're going to get Mackenzie Krafchick starting today for Bowling Green. I mean, the pitching staff and the pitchers that we're going to see in this game are probably going to be a big indication of how the outcome's going to be.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely going to come down to the ability to play defense, especially you look at Kent State. Delaney Robeson has been excellent on the offensive end, batting a .407 average, and so you're going to look to see, how Bowling Green can stop that offensive production from Kent State.
Robeson and Kendall Leitner, probably the two best Kent State swingers. Leitner with a .370 average, a decent amount of power as well, with 500 slugging percentage and about over 900 OPS as well. Robeson, a great hitter in her own right, and plays very good shortstop as well. Ella Johnson, who we mentioned, is starting 8.5 ERA in her 24 appearances. She's appeared the most for Kent State this season, has the most innings pitched as well with 52, the most strikeouts and walks, a pretty good ratio in that department as well. 40 strikeouts to 35 walks and a .368 batting average against, which is third on the team, but she has carried a lot of weight for Kent State this season. We're going to see Mackenzie Krafchick for Bowling Green today, who pitched great against Green Bay earlier this week. She pitched on Tuesday in the doubleheader, a 4.28 ERA and 14 appearances, 36 innings pitched. Pretty good performances from her as well. The second best pitcher on the team with a .320 batting average. Assumedly going to see Scarlett Anderson again today for Bowling Green. Both of them started against Green Bay, and we got the first complete game of the season for a Bowling Green pitcher against Green Bay. That Green Bay series was a pretty good one for Bowling Green earlier this week.
Yeah, definitely. That was a very action-packed series. Obviously a series that we split. Would have liked to sweep that series. But, the non-conference games are always a good indicator for where your squad lies. Going into MAC play and going into MAC play at home, it's going to be very interesting to see, such an even matchup. This will be an indicator for, can this team make that next step into being, a force within the MAC.
Certainly, and that infield of Bowling Green has been the strongest suit that they've had this season, especially, they have to fill in for Cam Kaufman for the next week or so. She's not going to play in this weekend series against Kent State in these three games. The starting shortstop for Bowling Green last season and this season is out with an undisclosed injury. The infield has had to move around a little bit, but they've really stepped up to the challenge, especially Addie Martin, who at Green Bay had a heck of a series. She had 3 singles, a triple, 2 home runs, a ton of runs scored, a ton of RBIs, making her bid for the Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week award. She's playing shortstop today, and she's very good in that department as well. A great defender. She can do it all with some speed as well. I mean, Addie Martin has been a force to be reckoned with for Bowling Green. The top 4 hitters for BG as well, all infielders. First baseman Katie Hutter, the shortstop Addie Martin, Taylor Barrett as the third baseman, and Hannah Hunt as the second baseman. Kevin, they're going to rely on those 4 hitters a lot, considering they are all top 4 hitters on the team, and they're all top 4 defenders, and they're going to be a big portion of Bowling Green's success the rest of the season, and they're going to need them today against Kent State.
Yeah, definitely, and especially in these close games, you're looking for that consistent offensive production. Like you said, Addie Martin has been doing excellent. It's funny, we're getting all these softball players winning Falcon Media Athlete of the Week. But, yeah, definitely going to lean on that offensive production, just looking to get runners on base and hopefully leave those innings with some runs.
Both teams pretty even in the way that they Swing the bats, 265 average for Bowling Green, 287 for Kent State, similar OPSs as well, and the pitching staffs has been something that struggles. So similar things to look for both of these squads, Kent State and Bowling Green. We'll take a step back as they do starting lineups and the national anthem here at Meserve Field and bring you back in a few minutes for first pitch of Bowling Green versus Kent State at home in the first home MAC series of the 2025 season. You're listening to BGSU Softball on Falcon Radio.
Falcons women's tennis travels to face Miami on Friday, March 21st at noon. Falcon Media's Sports Network's Kevin Hutchinson will have a recap on bgfalconmedia.com.
Ever heard of Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcasts on Falcon Radio or WBGU 88.1 FM but don't know where to listen? Well, set down the radio, pick up your phone, and go to bgfalconmedia.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to stream Falcon Radio and WBGU 88.1 FM for all broadcasts.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X. Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
BGSU Women's Golf heads south to Georgia State Intercollegiate on Sunday, March 23rd through Tuesday, March 25th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Sean Connolly will have a recap on bgfalconmedia.com.
To listen to replays of recent Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcasts, tune in to WBGU 88.1 FM every weekday morning from midnight to 3 a.m.
BGSU Baseball looks to continue their 10-game winning streak as they face Kent State on Friday, March 21st.
Tune in to Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavelitz and Chaz McNeil at 2:45 for pregame and 3 p.m. for first pitch on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Looking for a BG Athletics discussion show? Check out The Swoop, where a rotating cast of Falcon Media Sports Network co-hosts talk everything BGSU athletics. New episodes are available every Tuesday at 6 p.m. on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
Miss a BGSU sports broadcast? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to listen to past calls by Falcon Media Sports Network.
Back here in Missouri Field, Bowling Green and Kent State, the first home MAC series of the 2025 season, the first of Michelle Gardner as the head coach for Bowling Green. Ben Korak here with Kevin Hutchinson from the Falcon Media Sports Network. I'll read off the starting lineups for both sides real quick. Actually, I'll just do the Kent State side as they will bat first in this game. Delaney Robeson playing shortstop, batting first. Bryn Libler playing third base, batting second. Savannah Wing playing right field, batting third. Katie Jo Maury batting fourth and playing left field. Megan Clarehout playing first base, batting fifth, batting sixth, Carly Penner, and the designated hitter, Erilyn Nogue, playing center field. The next Falcon, batting in the 7-hole, Leilani Johnson, the catcher, batting in the 8-hole, and Cam Utendorf batting in the 9-hole, playing second base. The pitcher today is Ella Johnson. She will not hit, at least she won't hit so far. She will not be in the starting lineup, and Delaney Robeson will step up to the plate and take the first swings of the day for Kent State. Mackenzie Krafchick on the mound for Bowling Green had a very good outing against Green Bay, the first complete game win for a Falcon pitcher this season. Kevin, she's been a pretty good pitcher for Bowling Green, stepped up as of the last couple of games.
Yeah, her pitching has really been excellent for sure. We'll look to see how that continues into this MAC matchup.
First pitch, ground ball to Barrett at third base, throws over to Hutter and retires one on the first pitch for Mackenzie Krafchick. She was so efficient against Green Bay earlier this week. It was one of the main reasons that she was able to stay in for the entire game. She pitched great, and Michelle Gardner said that she really liked to see how Krafchick got ahead in counts often. That was part of the key to her doing as well as she did.
Yeah, definitely, and getting ahead in counts, that's the key. Putting your team in positions to be successful just by staying ahead there. And, yeah, definitely a good job on her part.
Infield in a little bit for Bowling Green. The delivery from Krafchick catches the outside corner. So it's 0-1 to Bryn Libler, the third baseman.
That's what Kellen says.
Libler, the third baseman, probably the third best hitter for Kent State, hovering around a 300 average. A couple of nice power numbers, 2 triples, 2 doubles. That one's put over the middle for a ball, 1-1 count.
And, yeah, it's interesting here. You see the chess match back and forth of each pitch.
Pretty good chess match won earlier in the week by Krafchick. Diving play by Addie Martin to make it at shortstop. Wow. She looks like a natural over there filling in for Cam Kaufman. She puts a second out of the first inning.
Yeah, that was an excellent play. Just great diving to the ball, great, ball awareness. And, yeah, just an excellent play by Addie Martin right there.
As the defensive help that we saw earlier in the week against Green Bay as well, a lot of great plays. Taylor Barrett and Addie Martin on the left side of the infield did a fantastic job. Barrington again with the first baseman, delivered to Savannah Wing. It'll be a first pitch strike for Mackenzie Krafchick, getting ahead in the count early.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we talked about, is that key of, getting ahead, just putting the team in positions to be successful.
The 0-1 to Wing. Playing right field today. She leaves it away. Savannah Wing, a .266 hitter this season. Good amount of power as well, a .405 slugging percentage. 4th on the team. 2 bombs, 3 doubles, a triple.
Wow. Yeah, they got some good hitters on Kent State for sure.
Those top 4 especially quite dangerous. Swing and a miss on a high fastball by Krafchick. A 1-2 count. She's really in the driver's seat of this first inning. First inning she went 3 straight. And in the first game against Green Bay when she pitched, she had a really good start to this, Kevin.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. And that's when you can look to continue that success. Obviously, non-conference competition, you never know, but when you play in conference, you see what you're made of.
The 1-2 is way high. That was over the head of Savannah Wing, who stands on the left-hand side of the box. Krafchick and Chevalier, the battery for Bowling Green today. Johnson and Johnson, the battery for Kent State. Krafchick delivers the 2-2 and leaves it outside. So we're down to a full count to one of the more dangerous hitters for Kent State.
Yeah, this is a situation that you obviously try to avoid. Makes you a bit vulnerable in this spot.
Katie Jo Maury waiting on deck. The payoff pitch lined into center field. Kendall Matthews has a beat on it. She'll put it away. That's a 1-2-3 first inning for Mackenzie Krafchick as we head into the bottom of the first with a 0-0 score. Bowling Green, Kent State, and BGSU softball on Falcon Radio.
Phil Beskid, BGSU Radio Faculty Advisor. You can catch all the Falcon Media Sports Network broadcasts on our two stations, WBGU 88.1 FM and Falcon Radio, which can both be found on bgfalconmedia.com. Ziggy.
Hi, this is Dave Gosher, radio play-by-play voice of the Boston Bruins, and you're listening to all the high-flying action of Bowling Green Falcon sports on Falcon Radio.
Miss a BGSU sports broadcast? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to listen to past calls by Falcon Media Sports Network.
A little bit of adjustment here on the broadcast. Carly Penner is going to start for Kent State today. Throwing with the left hand is going to be working with Leilani Johnson, the catcher. That's the battery today for Kent State. The Bowling Green lineup, Katie Hutter batting first and playing first. Addie Martin playing shortstop, batting second. Taylor Barrett playing third. Hannah Hunt playing second base. Peyton Steffes in right field. Ava McKee as the designated hitter. Ashley Chevalier is the catcher. Hannah Massaro as the left fielder. And Kendall Matthews batting last and playing center field. It will be Katie Hutter that comes up to the plate first for Bowling Green. Good start that Bowling Green had earlier in the week against Green Bay as they took a 1-0 lead in the first inning. Addie Martin's a dangerous hitter batting in that second hole, and Katie Hutter gets on base a lot.
Yeah, she has definitely been dangerous this season.
Hutter leaves one high. It's a 1-1 count now for Carly Penner. Penner, second best ERA on the Kent State team, 7.2 runs per game in her 7 appearances, the lowest amount of appearances, and that one caught a piece of Katie Hutter. She'll take a trot down to first base and bring up most dangerous hitter in the Bowling Green lineup and probably the most hot as well, and it's Addie Martin.
Yeah, definitely with that with that 3.33 batting average, she's been dangerous for sure. Great situation to put the team in here, already having a runner on base.
9 home runs, 2 doubles, 2 triples for Addie Martin this season. Had a triple and a home run earlier this week. Bunts it to the pitcher. Penner retires Addie Martin at first base, but gets the runner into scoring position.
Interesting play right there, because you make sort of the sacrifice play getting out on first, but you advance the runner to second. Puts us in a good position to potentially score if this is a good hit on this play.
And it brings up Taylor Barrett, the best contact hitter that Bowling Green has. A 361 average, leads the Falcons. 26 hits, also is very close to leading the Falcons. Not too much power, only 3 doubles this season on her 26 hits. It's the only extra base hits she got, and she takes a pitch low. Gets to a favorable 1-0 count. Katie Hutter standing at second base with 1 out.
This is an interesting position here.
Third baseman playing in, the rest of the infield playing back, it looks like. 1-1 now the count, and the strike about waist high. Wind blowing from left field to right field. Outfield playing straight up more or less. Barrett leaves it low, 2-1 the count now, as it's smothered by Johnson behind the plate.
I got to say, I love BG's helmets today, that shiny orange.
Kind of like those football helmets that they wore maybe against Kent State earlier during the football season, up and away. So it'll be a 3-1 count for Taylor Barrett. Got a very favorable one at that. Carly Penner's got some work to do.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to start, awarding a walk. Another walk, that's for sure.
Hannah Hunt lurking in the on-deck circle. Barrett takes a pitch high. It'll be 2 walks in the first inning for Carly Penner. 1 hit by pitch, 1 straight up. We have first and second with 1 out.
Yep, 2 walks is not the start you want to have on defense, that's for sure. Just looking to hopefully clean some of, well, not hopefully, but for her team, hoping to clean some of those pitches up and get them more in the center.
Hannah Hunt steps up to the plate. Probably got to do something off of the ground. A pitch is high from Penner. But you don't want to ground to the double play in this situation, considering you have the force out at third and second and first.
Yeah, definitely not. It's interesting to see the approach she's going to take here.
Another pitch high. So Penner working high against Hannah Hunt. They're going to take time, as the amount of strikes for Penner has not really been there. She's going to get a mound visit as well. So Michelle Gardner will talk over with Hunt at the strategy. Probably something to the effect of keeping it in the air. Also considering a 2-0 count is a swing away count.
Definitely. And you're looking at Kent State here wanting to keep – I mean, we talked about pitching being a struggle for both teams going in, having 2 walks already just in the first inning. Obviously, they're going to look to clean that up.
So Penner will have an even taller task now as she works back from a 2-0 count. In the first inning, 1 out, runner on second and third. The delivery is high to Hunt again. So she's got a 3-0 count now. And now you've got the decision whether to leave the bat on your shoulder, considering she's thrown 6 balls in a row, I believe.
Yeah, you don't want 3 walks.
And the pitch is left low. Walking the bases loaded is Carly Penner.
Wow.
And that'll bring up Peyton Steffes, batting in the 5-hole today for Bowling Green. Has only moved up the batting order as of the last couple of games. Was it 7 4 games ago, then up to 6 for the last couple, and now up to the 5-hole.
Yeah, and she's earned that advancement. I mean, looking at her 284 batting average, she's earned that climb on the depth chart, and looking to see how she does.
Steffes batting lefty, and Penner delivers a strike on the outside edge.
Yeah, as a left-hander, I got to be biased in Steffes' favor here.
I agree.
Got to love it when they bat lefty.
Also a left-hander myself.
Oh, that's awesome.
Another one, grounded to second base and past the diving second baseman.
And
throw to home. That'll get 2 runs in on the dive from Taylor Barrett. Advancing to second base is Steffes. Hunt caught at third base. It's going to be a 2-run single and an extra base for Peyton Steffes, who gives Bowling Green a 2-0 lead.
Got to say, Ben, only thing I love more than 1 score is 2 scores. That was a brilliant, play design right past the defender's glove, and getting those 2 runners in, just excellent play right there.
Ludendorff still made a very good play on the ball at second base, just a little bit outside of her reach, maybe an inch or 2 from knocking that down, maybe even holding a run off the board. But second and third now as it brings up the designated hitter, Ava McKee. It's probably going to be a single with an advancement for Peyton Steffes. So, as I said, a runner on second and third now. McKee has a 0-1 count as Penner gets back on top. Those walks, you're just giving them. Here's a bunt foul down the first baseline.
Yeah.
So a squeeze there. Those walks earlier in the inning really spelled disaster for Penner.
Sure.
I mean, not to mention starting an inning with them, but to start a game.
For sure, and that just shows you don't necessarily want to play it safe. I mean, you got to get some of those pitches in that strike zone, work on your fastball, work on not giving up walks.
Low and away to McKee. 1-2 the count now with 1 out and second and third. Probably looking to get something in the outfield just to get a run in, a sac fly maybe. Like an off-speed inside, is left inside. Johnson, the catcher, trying to calm down Penner. She has struggled in this first inning. Only 1 hit, but 2 runs scored.
Yeah, definitely been a struggle. I mean, because of all those walks.
The 2-2, McKee leaves it high. It's a full count now for Penner, who's at 1 pitch risk of losing her 4th batter of the first inning.
Yeah, definitely a pivotal moment at this at-bat.
The payoff pitch. It's high again. McKee will take first base.
Wow.
See if there's a coach coming out of the dugout for Kent State. I might just ride with her, considering there is a force out at every base now, so it's not the worst thing in the world with the 1 out.
Mm-mm. And next up, it looks like we've got Ashley Chevalier.
Yeah, Chevalier has come up big as of the last couple of games. A big triple, her first triple of the season. A 3-run triple against Buffalo.
Mm-hmm. Yes, she's been getting hot recently, and it'll be interesting to see what happens here. I mean, obviously, pivotal position for Kent State, having 3 runners on base, or having 3 BG runners on base. Big opportunity for a defensive play for Kent State.
Another time you probably want to put the ball in the outfield if possible, as there's a force at every base. Chevalier watches the first strike in a while go by.
Infield celebrates a little bit. Looking for something to celebrate here.
First and third baseman playing even or in with the bag. Second and shortstop playing even with the baseline. Throw to home on the ground ball to shortstop, trying to turn the double play to first base, but they'll only get the put out at home, so that'll keep a run off the board and make it 2 outs with still the bases loaded.
All right. Interesting to see. Obviously frustrating result there with the out, but still bases loaded. Big opportunity. You want to put it in the outfield here since you have most of the infield playing pretty tight. Could be space maybe around right field to squeeze one out there.
Hannah Massaro, the left fielder, batting in the 8-hole. Takes a pitch high, 1-0. On the count, Steffes at third base, McKee at second, and Chevalier at first. So as you said, it's 2 outs. Anything on the ground, the infield can play back because they just need 1. Don't need to worry about cutting their run off. It's 2-0 now on the pitch on the high and outside.
Yeah, I'd be concerned with that infield leaving a lot of space in the outfield for something to pop through.
Penner bounces one. Johnson picks it up. Going to be a 3-0 count again with nowhere to put Massaro. Massaro has 3 RBIs this season, the lowest out of anybody in the starting lineup. Actually, the second lowest on the team, aside from anybody with 0. There's the first strike of the at-bat for Penner. 3-1, the count now with 2 outs and the bases loaded.
I'd play pretty conservative at bat here, having that 3-1 count.
Ground ball down the third base line, but it's foul in front of the Bowling Green bench. So we'll get a reset and now a full count. So the runner's in an odd spot where they're probably going to have to be moving. Try and get as many runs as you can in. McKee not the fastest at second base. Neither is Chevalier, the catcher, at first. Steffes can really fly, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Would be great to come out with another run.
The full count, up and in. Walking in a run is Penner.
All right. Great result, 3-0 lead for BG. And it looks like there's a semi-meeting on the mound for Kent State.
So they're gonna ride with Penner for the time being, still the first inning. McKee will advance up to third, Chevalier to second, Massaro to first, bringing up Kendall Matthews, who has an astonishing amount of power for batting in the final batting spot, a 205 average, 2 home runs. She's really got some pop in her bat as she takes a strike on the outside edge.
Definitely. And in a situation where the bases are loaded, I mean, you want that power. You want that ability to pop one to the outfield and hopefully get a runner in. Ooh.
There's a high fly ball to center field. Nogue back on the track at the wall. Makes the catch against the Falcon softball banner out there in center field. What a play by the ex-Falcon to hold Bowling Green off the board with the bases loaded, but not before the Falcons get a 3-0 lead off of 5 walks in the inning from Penner. A deep fly ball. Kendall Matthews retires it. We'll bring you back in a few for the top of the second inning. You're listening to BGSU Softball on Falcon Radio.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network. Hey, BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. When I was a Falcon, there was BGRSO. Now it's Falcon Media Sports Network. Keep up with all BGSU sports news and action by following BG_FMSN on Twitter/X and check out BGFalconMedia.com. Hi, Ziggy.
Krafchick back in the circle for Bowling Green. Carly Penner had a little bit of a struggle first inning. Gave up 3 runs to Bowling Green on 1 hit, 5 walks, and 3 runners left on base on Kendall Matthews, who gave it a ride. Now this one's given a ride by Maury out to right field, and Steffes is able to track it down just a step in front of the warning track.
Yeah, that's just a simple, pop up and catch, very rhythmic catch. They just make it look easy.
Backpedaling over to the warning track in deep right field. That'll bring up Megan Clairhout after Katie Jo Morey's fly out. Krafchick working again. An efficient first inning. 1, 2, 3. Now 4 in the top. Krafchick is going to take a quick time now. The fresh count to Clairhout. Clairhout batting at the 5 hole, I should say, playing first base today. 345 average in her 29 at bats. Pretty solid stuff so far.
Yeah, definitely, and she's one of those hitters you want to watch out for. I mean, one who I think has plenty of power behind her swing. You want to make sure one of those doesn't pop free.
Krafchick falls behind 2-0 in the count now with that rise ball on the outside. Top of the second inning, 3-0 Bowling Green. They got 1 hit in the bottom, but 5 walks from Kent State gave them a pretty solid chance, given a lot of opportunities. Left 3 runners on base. Now Kent State tries to get back, and that's a line drive the middle. Almost got a piece of Mackenzie Krafchick, able to get out of the way, but the ball scoots over to Matthews in center. We're going to get a single for Clairhout. It's going to be the first base runner of the game for Kent State.
Yeah, and that's a big, we had that potentially game-saving play. Kent State was bleeding a lot in that first inning before that final out. Good start to the inning for Kent State.
It'll bring up the pitcher, Carly Penner, batting for herself in the 6th hole. Batting 190 this season. 3 doubles, 9 RBIs on her 84 at-bats. She's batted a lot, has been a staple in the lineup. Third in total at-bats, but not too much production with that 190 average.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you look, there are some players that just fill in those gaps, are your consistent, consistently in there. But, yeah, her production could certainly be higher.
2-0 count on the fastball high, so Krafchick now struggling a little bit in the second inning. Just a little bit, not getting ahead in counts as she did so well in the first inning and in her last outing. Penner is in a swinger's count now. 2-0, swings it out to left field, tracked down by Massaro. Misplayed it a little bit, but is going to hold the runner to first base. Clairhout will have to retreat. Penner flies out to left field, and that'll bring up the ex-Falcon, Erilyn Nogue.
That was a great catch. Great field vision, just the ability to be there and to make that grab for the ball. Excellent play by the defense.
Erilyn Nogue, one of the better hitters for Bowling Green last year before she transferred. Almost a 300 hitter in her 89 at-bats. 26 hits on 2 doubles and 2 triples. Has had a pretty decent start to this season as well. 257 with 3 doubles and a triple. No home runs yet in her collegiate career. Over 700 OPS as well.
And that must be really bizarre playing against your former team, against the uniform you used to wear.
Making her return to Missouri Field as she played quite a large amount of games last year, especially in the second half of the season. An 0-2 count quickly to her as Krafchick gets her to foul a ball out to the Bowling Green bench. So she gets back early in the count, now has some room to work with a runner on first base and 2 outs.
Gives you some flexibility for sure.
Here's the 0-2 from Krafchick, low and away. She had to pitch the waist, so possibly a setup there.
1-2 count.
Clairhout awaits something happening at first base. Nogue saved a couple more runs scored in the bottom of the first inning. She puts a good swing on at second base, but handled by Hunt, and it's retired by Hunt and Hutter. And we'll head to the bottom of the second inning with a 3-0 Bowling Green lead. You're listening to BGSU Softball on Falcon Radio.
For all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconMedia.com. Looking for a
favorite BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Ella Johnson will enter in the game for Kent State as we try and figure out the defensive substitutions that we may have. Ben Kroik here with Kevin Hutchinson for the Falcon Media Sports Network. Bowling Green softball versus Kent State, the home MAC opener for Bowling Green at Meserve Field. They have a 3-0 lead with a pretty gifted first inning of play when they batted all the way through the order, and 5 walks and 1 hit gave them 3 runs.
Yeah, and that's definitely, I mean, what an opener it has been for the Falcons, taking advantage of those opportunities, setting themselves up in position to succeed, and looking to continue that success as we return to the top of the batting order for this inning.
So Johnson will relieve Penner. The first pitch is left outside, so a 1-0 count for Katie Hutter. Had a hit by pitch as the first batter of the game. My words are hard. It does not have an at-bat yet, technically, so that was her first plate appearance. Now bats in the second inning as well. Takes a strike about knee-high. Low, so a 1-1 count now back to even.
Yeah, that was like right on the edge of the strike zone there.
It was certainly a close pitch. The 1-1 check swing for Hutter, but it's a strike anyway, even if she didn't go. It'll be a 1-2 count. Now, she had a favorable count when she got hit by the pitch in her first plate appearance. Now in her second, she's going to have to do a little bit of damage with
Work a little magic.
The 1-2 is outside, so back up to even now, 2-2, still favoring the pitcher a little bit.
You want to have a good start to the inning, hopefully at least get to first.
Peyton Steffes had the 2 RBI single in the first, another run scored in the first as well. Low and away, and now a full count to Katie Hutter, who's one of the better on-base percentage players for Bowling Green. 404, one of 2 Falcons in the 400s of on-base percentage. Taylor Barrett, the other one, swinging a foul ball off of the netting behind the plate.
We almost got a face full of that ball. I mean, that was coming up for a second.
Yeah, it was. Katie Hutter still working a full count. Johnson looking to retire the first batter that she faces, as Penner was not able to do. Johnson delivers the payoff. Fly ball down the left field line, but foul, and on the other side of the fence.
Man, you can really feel the tension building here, for sure.
3-0. And the bottom of the second inning. Katie Hutter still with the full count. Back-to-back foul balls. She'll get another try at it now. On the inside, check swing. She's going to take first base as the pitch was inside.
Bit of an anticlimactic ending to a very intense at-bat for sure.
It's going to go down as her second plate appearance of the game, but no at-bats yet. 1 on a hit by pitch, 1 on a walk. She'll stand on first base again, bring up Addie Martin, who had a sacrifice bunt in the first, has had some very strong play in the last couple of games. She has been a deadly hitter for opponent pitchers, especially against Green Bay. She had 2 home runs and 2 singles, went 4 for 4, 3 RBIs, 3 runs in the first game against Green Bay, and then 2 for 4 with a triple in the second game against Green Bay. She was just the Phoenix Killers.
Yeah, and that was 2 homers in as many at-bats. So she's been not only deadly, but efficient.
Pretty much almost single-handedly won the first game against Green Bay for Bowling Green. Hutter will be sent back to home plate just to take a pitch on the outside edge and get walked again. Going to be a walk no matter what.
Right.
Don't know.
Why did that happen? That was kind of
I don't know.
Didn't
see what they were calling.
Good, so it wasn't just me. I didn't.
Okay. So they called it a foul ball, I believe. The previous pitch hit the bat. Makes sense because it was in a little bit tight.
Yeah.
Addie Martin takes a strike down the middle. Didn't show bunt, as she had the same situation in the first inning, and she did bunt to get the runner over to second base. Now with a 3-0 lead, you can be a little bit more liberal with the swinging decisions that you make. Takes it high, 1-1.
She's got those pink gloves, really a pop of extra color on the field right now.
How do you think it goes with the orange and white?
No, not really.
Not really. Foul ball.
Ooh.
Back of the fence. Just missed that one. She put a good swing on it.
Yeah, that's
was
out of here, but the wrong way.
Meet middle pitch as well. 1-2 the count. No outs in the bottom of the second inning. Runner on first base, Katie Hutter, on a turned out to be a 7-pitch walk after a foul ball on the 6th.
7-pitch walk. That's like watching a movie and then skipping the last 20 minutes. A bit anticlimactic.
Ball way high over the head of Addie Martin. 2-2 now. Is back up to a more or less even count for Ella Johnson.
Pitching has been more consistent from Johnson so far.
Foul ball right back behind the screen again. So good cuts from Addie Martin to keep the at-bat alive. Ella Johnson an 8.5 ERA and 24 appearances, the most of any Kent State pitcher. 52 innings pitched with the best strikeout to walk ratio as well. Not the greatest ERA, though, with that 8.5, fourth on the team.
Yeah, that is definitely a little high.
The 2-2 pitch is low. It'll be back to full count for Johnson. We'll see what Addie Martin does here. Probably going to have to pick her spot.
Yeah.
Considering the lack of strikes being thrown by Kent State pitchers.
Ooh.
Line drive into left field. This is going to get down the third base line. Rounding into third is Katie Hutter. She'll be held up. Addie Martin with a double puts the runners at second and third and leaves duckies on the pond for Taylor Barrett.
Excellent play. Excellent play right there. Exactly where you want to place the ball, giving the runners opportunity to advance.
The ball was absolutely crushed. Want to see the exit velocity on that. She had a home run in the first game against Green Bay that just tucked over the fence. Didn't probably get above 15 feet above the ground the entire way.
Wow.
She's got an immensity of power. Some great speed as well, just an all-around great athlete. It'll bring up Taylor Barrett, a contact hitter again for Bowling Green, the highest batting average on the team at 361.
Yep.
Not too many RBIs, only 12 this season, but batting in the 3-hole, she'll get one here. A single to right field. Addie Martin will be sent home.
That's
She'll
one.
get there sliding head first. A 2 RBI single for Taylor
That's
Barrett.
2. Excellent. Excellent play. Once again, scores that come in twos. Great double package right there.
Two 2 RBI singles for Bowling Green in this game. One by Steffes, one by Taylor Barrett. She sits on first base with no outs and brings up Hannah Hunt as there's another mound visit for Kent State.
Yeah, I'd say they have a lot. Very important meeting of the minds here. A lot for them to discuss. This game is getting away from them actually very quickly.
Just a little bit as Hannah Hunt will have to regroup. Not as promising a situation as Taylor Barrett just had, but her single between the first and second baseman results in 2 runs. It's 2 runs on 2 hits for Bowling Green already in this inning, and Kent State has not recorded an out.
No, definitely you want to clean up that defense, maybe make those windows tighter if you can, and really just try to contain this Bowling Green offense if you're Kent State.
Jessica O'Donnell finishes her mound visit, and it'll bring up Hannah Hunt. Ella Johnson working with her now, trying to get the first out of the inning. 5-0 Bowling Green lead. The pitch is low and inside, making Johnson work a little bit behind the plate there. Now the battery is Johnson and Johnson.
Johnson and Johnson, a family company.
Yeah. No tears.
Wow.
1-0 count, fly ball into right field, down the right field line, playable by Wing, the right fielder. Savannah Wing puts it away, holds the runner at first base. So 1 out, runner at first is Hannah Hunt. Flies out to Wing in right field.
Yeah, another great catch by the outfielder there. That's more of what Kent State needs, more of that lockdown defense, just the ability to get simple outs and get those Bowling Green hitters off the field. If you're Kent State, that's your focus.
So another decent swing by Bowling Green. Hunt hit it probably about 180 down the first base line. Pitch perfect on the black. Painted the corner. Got the first strike. So 0-1 to Peyton Steffes, who had an 2 RBI single.
Yeah, that was a great play earlier by Steffes. Ooh, another strike.
Yeah.
The infield celebrating.
Looked close. 1-1, the count with 1 out.
Tensions mounting a little on the field.
Another pitch from Johnson fouled away by Steffes. Put a pretty decent swing, but a defensive one. Michelle Gardner not too happy about the swing, but Steffes will step back in the box with a 1-2 count. Still a runner on first base, Taylor Barrett, after her 2 RBI single.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here.
Up and in, 2-2.
Interesting situation here because you got 1 runner on base. I mean, do you want to be aggressive or do you want to be conservative? Because you do have a 5-run lead.
Ground ball to the shortstop. Making the play, but late, is Robeson. It's going to be too soft of a ground ball to really make that play. Too soft in the hole, long throw, and quite a fast player, Peyton Steffes. Should be a single.
Yeah,
for Steffes, 2 now in 2 innings.
Yeah, her speed might be one of her greatest assets. I mean, that ability to just bolt to first base. Even though, like you said, the hit wasn't very far, still able to get on base and get in there.
Ava McKee will come up to bat for Bowling Green. 17 at-bats, the highest amount by an unregistered Falcon, meaning not averaging at least 2 at-bats per game. She only got 1 hit and 1 run in her 17 at-bats, 0.59. Her batting average is a designated hitter with Cam Kaufman's absence from the lineup. He was at low and away for a 2-0 count.
Oh, so she's the backup. Yeah, that was a surprising, a surprising batting average for a designated hitter. But since she's not in the regular rotation, that makes sense.
The 2-0 to McKee is high. It'll be 3-0 now.
If you're Kent State, you really got to contain some of this wild pitching. You don't want to be walking hitters all day. You want to get some strikes, get something in the strike zone.
Runner in scoring position with 1 out, left inside, and now bases loaded. 2 runners in scoring position, and still only 1 out. That'll bring up Ashley Chevalier.
Another walk. They did not follow my advice.
Yeah, 2 walks for McKee today. Not yet recording an at-bat. Got on third base her last time up. Didn't score. One of the runners left on. Chevalier at a fielder's choice to get Hannah Hunt thrown out, trying for home. Her last time up. Leaves the pitch up and away.
A little wild over there, way off course.
Another situation you probably want to put the ball in the outfield. Hope for a sacrifice fly, get some runners in, maybe find some green and get a couple runners in. Steffes at second base is fast. A single would probably get her in.
Yeah.
1-1 the count. Perfect strike thrown by Johnson.
We had a little goose fly over there. Good thing they passed before the pitch was thrown.
Yeah, no Randy Johnson happenings here.
Wouldn't want them getting
1-1
hit.
off speed. Oh, looked like it could have caught the edge, but no, says the umpire. 2-1 the count on a tight zone.
Favorable count for the hitter here.
Chevalier on the 2-1. Fouls it out of play over angling toward the pond outside of Missouri Field. 5-0. Bowling Green lead with 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. Bases loaded. And a 2-2 count for the catcher, Ashley Chevalier.
BG's been getting a lot of bases loaded situations.
That is rolled up to the catcher, Johnson. Johnson to Johnson. Now working a full count with 1 out and the bases loaded. Chevalier is probably going to get a strike here.
Yeah.
Going to try and put it in the outfield. Fouled out of play. That was a pitch to do it on. But slices it away. Still going to be full count. It'll be a big out for Johnson if she's able to get it.
Yes. This would be a transformational play for Kent State. Definitely to alter the course of this game.
Golden Flashes trailing by 5. Chevalier flies it out to deep right field. Looking to make the play is Wing and Noge. It'll fall down at the warning track. McKee at second base. 2 runs will score as Steffes comes home. That's going to be don't know what they're going to rule that. Probably a 2-run single for Ashley Chevalier.
Is that our third 2-run single?
I believe so.
Wow. I think you had 2 outfielders going for the ball at the same time. Maybe a lack of communication. Something happened. But just the error on that play.
A heck of a play by Noge, who was also trying to make a play on that ball. In the right center field gap, probably more the right fielder's ball, and yet Noge got there faster than Wing did. Noge made the diving play. Wing couldn't make the catch either. As you said, maybe some miscommunication.
Yeah, I mean, John Madden said if you have two quarterbacks, you have none. I mean, in that situation, if you have two outfielders going for the same ball, you really got none because they could collide and miss it as they did in that case.
So Steffes scored from second base. Barrett scored from third base. McKee makes it to second base. She didn't know if they were going to catch the ball. So even though it landed on the warning track, Chevalier's only going to get a single. A big one at that, giving Bowling Green a 7-0 lead in the second inning. That'll bring up Hannah Massaro, who had a walk in the first. Takes a strike down the middle.
Yeah, and that's a case where your production speaks a bit louder than the stat sheet. I mean, only being listed as a single, but still a huge play for Bowling Green as the Falcons are pulling away relatively early.
Massaro had that RBI walk in the first that brought in the third run of the inning. We're at 4 runs right now in the second with still one out, but an 0-2 count to the 8-hole Massaro playing left field.
Set up to bunt.
Always shows that bunt high. Now swings over, ground ball to third base. The play is made by Libler at third, but it'll be second and third now, bringing up Kendall Matthews, who is a single away from our 4th 2-run single of the day.
Wow. Interesting choice to toss that over to first. I would have bumped that over to third, try to keep a base runner from getting on third. Not really sure why that was done by the defense. Here's Kendall Matthews.
Yeah, Matthews will come up, had a fly ball to the center fielder that she really gave a ride. I mean, that was right up against the fence when Noge pulled it out of the stitching.
Yeah, that was a brutal play for a former Falcon to grab that ball.
Matthews with an 0-1 count. Johnson looking to get out of the inning. Way high. What a grab by Johnson behind the plate. Should start clarifying which Johnson it is. Ilani Johnson with a good grab behind the plate as Ella Johnson threw the pitch over.
Johnson and Johnson. That's a great duo. Great duo.
Not doing too hot in the second inning.
Nope.
Matthews check swing, but she went. Be another strike and a 1-2 count for K-Mad, who's looking to get an RBI. Had bases loaded the last time she was up. Left 3 runners on base. Has 2 runners on now. Foul ball behind the press box.
Wow.
So she's looking to keep 5 runners left on base off of her stat line. Right now. Big positions for her.
Yeah, that would not be a great stat line, that's for sure.
The 1-2 from Johnson. Up high. 2-2 now.
A lot of these pitches going high. It's interesting. I wonder, is it her throwing mechanic, or is she doing it on purpose, or not really sure.
Just leaving balls high, trying to aim or overthrow a little bit. 2-2. Oh, pitch is left low. It had the right width of the plate, just not the right depth. Now a full count with 2 outs for Kendall Matthews. Runner on second and third. No runner on first, so they will not be going on the pitch unless there's a squeeze situation. Full count to Matthews. Swing and a miss on the outside edge. Ella Johnson retires. Matthews, not before Bowling Green gets 4 runs and leads 7-0 through 2 innings of play. We'll head to the top of the third in a minute. You're listening to BGSU Softball on Falcon Radio.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Miss a BGSU sports broadcast? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to listen to past calls by Falcon Media Sports Network.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
4 runs on 4 hits, 2 walks in the bottom of the second inning for Bowling Green. 2 runners left on base and a 7-0 Bowling Green lead through 2 innings of play. Mackenzie Krafchick comes back in the circle for the Falcons, and she's had quite a long rest after that second inning, and a long one. BG's batted around their order twice now.
Wow. Yeah, that's definitely what you want from an offensive perspective in the first couple of innings.
Leilani Johnson at the plate, gives a drive to right field. Peyton Steffes shielding the Sun with her mitt, but ends up dropping the ball. The Sun probably playing a little bit of havoc on that ball. Johnson's going to get a double unless they rule it as an error. And second base runner of the game for the Golden Flashes.
Ooh,
come to lead off the third inning.
That's why you got to wear those pit vipers, man. Got to blot that sun out somehow.
Yeah, got to get the shades. Steffes put the glove up to shield herself from the sun. I think she has the glasses and the hat on as well.
Ooh.
But something that right side of the infield and the outfield, Hunt, Hutter, and Steffes are going to have to worry about now.
Yeah, definitely. Sun is beating down in that direction.
Sun quite high, clearing, narrowing in on 2 o'clock here in Bowling Green. Krafchick will try to work herself out of a little bit of a jam here, although she's got 7 runs of buffer. It's Cam Utendorf, who just tips it foul.
Yeah, good position for Bowling Green to be in, but you want to keep playing tight defense. I mean, you don't want to loosen up. There's still plenty of game left. So, interesting to see the approach that they're going to take here.
Krafchick will deal on the 0-1. The runner on second base and no outs. Leaving it outside, Utendorf takes a couple steps toward the pitcher as the pitch comes in. Lonnie Johnson is going to get credit for a hit. It's kind of a unforced drop by Steffes, considering she probably couldn't see the ball.
Right.
Line drive over into the gap between third and shortstop. Addie Martin with a diving play to try and knock it down, but she can't get it. The double play is in order, but there's a runner on first and third base for Mackenzie Krafchick with no outs.
Yeah, that was right through 2 defenders right there. Great little drive out toward left field by the hitter.
Bring up the top of the order as well, Delaney Robeson.
Yeah, and Robeson, like we said, she's been dangerous. I mean, that 407 average, it's the only average above 400 on the team. Definitely don't want to let her get hot in this inning here.
3 home runs, 6 doubles this season, the highest slugging percentage, highest on-base percentage, and the highest OPS for Kent State. Certainly the one you want to get past if you're Mackenzie Krafchick, trying to hold runs off the board.
Definitely. Ooh.
Strike on the outside edge.
That pitch had some zip on it. I could hear that ball moving.
Leilani Johnson is not running at third base. There's a pinch runner. Can't see the number right now. Number 1. We'll see who that is. That's Brooke Eberly. 5'2" outfielder and a freshman, pinch running.
Wow.
Assumingly fast.
You gotta be even faster at 5'2". I mean, shorter legs.
Able to move him a little bit faster, maybe. 0-2 count for Krafchick. She delivers, and a just barely fouled off by Robeson.
Interesting. Yeah, we've talked about, pitching being pitching's been good for Bowling Green so far, but like we said, I mean, you want to stay tight, try to avoid those foul balls there.
0-2 still for Krafchick. The last one was hittable. This one probably going to be a waste pitch. Yeah, she puts it high, so setting up something maybe on the lower side, maybe an inside off speed, something to that effect. 1-2 the count, 7-0 lead for Bowling Green. No outs in the top of the third inning. First and third as the runners are split.
Yeah, it's so fascinating how pitchers, manipulate the pitch count, manipulate the game.
And it worked there. Swing and a miss on a off speed at the bottom of the zone. Krafchick puts an out on the board, setting up that double play to get out of the inning. Swinging strikeout for Delaney Robeson. It's her 16th of the season.
And this sets up quite the situation for Libler. I mean, like you said, that double play is on the table. She's going to want to avoid that, hopefully pop it deep to the outfield.
That ball had some more zip on it, but it was low and away. Libler a lefty, so Hunt and Hutter. Hutter a step inside the bag. Barrett is about 2 or 3 steps inside the third base bag. And the middle infield is back. That's Martin and Hunt. The 1-0 is an off-speed over the middle of the plate. Just changed up the timing of Libler and put a strike past her. A 1-1 count now with 1 out.
And this is the situation where, the onus is on Kent State. The pressure's on Kent State. They're going to have to turn this around somehow. Down 7-0.
Krafchick the 1-1. A little bender again, but way soft, way low and away.
A little bit of a setup pitch there.
2-1 count, back to even.
Big situation here.
2-1 from Krafchick. On the outside part of the plate is a strike, says the umpire. 2-2 now. Favorable count. And you have to defend the plate if you're Bryn Libler.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you got to put together some sort of an offense. Got to start roaring back now that you have the opportunity.
Had a good knock, a line drive. That was a great play by Martin. She does it again to Martin. Martin tries to double off the runner at first. Good diving slide back by Cam Utendorf.
Addie Martin making some defensive plays early.
That's 2 very hard hit balls that she was able to hold on to by Libler.
Yeah.
That's her second line out to the shortstop of the game. Brings up Savannah Wing, the 3-hole, who flew out to the center fielder, Kendall Matthews. Or more of a line out, I would say, in the first inning. Bender again from Krafchick. That one was dirty. You saw that almost in the other batter's box before it bent back in.
Wow.
1 count.
Wow. It's amazing the talent of these D1 pitchers.
Krafchick 2 pitches away from working herself out of a little bit of a jam. Runners at first and third, 2 outs now. Another bender and swing and a miss to Wing. I mean, that pitch doesn't look like they're too keen on it.
Yeah,
I would think they go with here, Kevin.
I really don't know. I mean, like I said, the pressure's really on for Kent State.
I'm gonna guess the high cheese. Gonna go with a fastball now after 2 off speed. Here's the 0-2. It is fast. It's flown out to left field, but it falls in foul territory. So Savannah Wing was looking for it. She got a piece of it, but not enough.
Yeah, a bit of a wasted opportunity at possibly a big momentum shift for the Golden Flashes.
7-0 in the top of the 3rd inning. 2 outs. There's a runner at third. There's a forced out at second and first. Wing with an 0-2 count. Krafchick, the windup and the delivery outside. That'll be the first ball, but she had the pitch to waste.
Yeah, although, I mean, you want to stay ahead of the pitch count. You don't want to waste too many pitches, get your back up against the wall.
Krafchick 1 strikeout, no walks so far in this game. The 1-2, lined out to left field. Good play by Hannah Massaro, ranging toward the third base line, puts away the inning, and Krafchick is able to work out of a 2-runner jam with no outs in the third, comes away with no runs on only 2 hits. Mackenzie Krafchick gets out of the top of the 3rd inning. We'll head to the bottom in a minute. You're listening to BGSU Softball on Falcon Radio.
BG Gymnastics heads to Mount Pleasant, Michigan for the MAC Championship on Saturday, March 22nd at 2 p.m. Read the recap by Falcon Media Sports Network's Sam Morris on BGFalconMedia.com.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on BGFalconMedia.com.
Seven 0 lead for Bowling Green. They bat in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Johnson out in the circle again for Bowling Green, and she pitches to Katie Hutter to lead off the 3rd inning in a row. Bowling Green batted around in the 1st and the 2nd. 3 runs on 1 hit, 5 walks in the 1st, 4 runs on 4 hits, and 2 walks in the 2nd inning. Katie Hutter Now with a 1-1 count as she takes a strike on the up and away corner of the plate.
Yeah, it's been a productive day for the Falcons. I don't know if it's the glinting helmets. I don't know what's going on, but 7 runs in the first 2 innings, very, very strong.
Just caught the outside edge. Very close pitch, but a 1-2 count now for Ella Johnson, who works against Katie Hutter. Hutter worked a full count in the last at-bat, drew a walk, got a hit by pitch in her first plate appearance. Both plate appearances, I should say. And another one, strikeout looking on the outside. Looked a little bit outside, but close enough that you can't take.
Yeah, it's those close plays for sure.
Very close. Leilani Johnson is fired up as catcher for Ella Johnson. Addie Martin comes up to the plate. A double and a run scored in the second inning. Foul ball out of play by Martin, who had a sacrifice bunt in the first inning as well.
Yeah, and that
was 1
was
for 1.
That's a play that shows, that sacrifice bunt she had. Interesting because it shows the maturity. It shows, her softball IQ, which is why she's a leader on this team.
Umpire likes that inside part of the plate, or that paint on the right-hand batter's box as Martin takes another one inside. It's an 0-2 count now. And Ella Johnson she got her first out of the game. Now delivers to Martin. Martin down the third base line, but it's foul on the diving play by Libler. Some action going on in the Bowling Green pen. Not too much. A little bit going on in the Golden Flash pen as well. But again, not too much. Ella Johnson looks to have started this inning better. 0-2 to Martin. Up and away. Again, another pitch that in an 0-2 count might be setting up this next one. It was up and away, so possibly going off-speed low.
Yeah, Martin's going to have to be vigilant on this pitch. I mean, probably going to have to take a strong swing.
It wasn't off-speed low, but just a little bit low. The infield thought they had a strikeout, but Martin, with a good eye, let it stay down. 2-2 with 1 out, no runners on. Up and away, full count now to Addie Martin.
Wow. And see, getting to that full count, I feel like that just puts the hitter in such an advantageous position. I don't know why the pitcher would allow that to happen.
Full count, 1 out. Johnson delivers. High fly ball by Addie Martin. Left center field gap. Under it is Maury, and she'll put it away at the warning track. So Addie Martin will be retired for the second time in the game. That'll be 2 outs straight for Kent State for the first time in the game in the third inning. That'll bring up Taylor Barrett, who has a walk and a single, 2 runs scored and 2 RBIs already.
Yeah, that ball definitely went high, and if it would have just had a little more distance, could have been a homer, but just a bit too high and short.
On a full count pitch, too. Taylor Barrett. It's a ball go away. 1-0, 2 outs, no runners on for Kent State, who's got a little bit of pitching momentum going now with Ella Johnson after 4 runs given up in the second inning.
Yeah, finally, it seems like Kent State is settling into a defensive groove. Might be too little too late, but they still have some innings to work with. They'll be looking to get the Falcons off of base here.
Fly ball to right field, playable by both outfielders. Wing is the one that makes the catch as Nogue lets it go, and that'll be the end of the top of the 4th inning. No runs on no hits, or the bottom of the 3rd inning, I'm sorry. No runs on no hits for Bowling Green. We'll turn it over back to the top. Kent State and Bowling Green, the Falcons lead 7-0. You're listening to BGSU Softball on Falcon Radio.
Falcon baseball wraps up their homestand against Youngstown State on Tuesday, March 25th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavelitz and Sam Morris will have the call starting at 2:45 for pregame and 3 p.m. for first pitch on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Hi, this is Dave Gosher, radio play-by-play voice of the Boston Bruins, and you're listening to all the high-flying action of Bowling Green Falcon sports on Falcon Radio.
BG Men's Golf heads to Tennessee for the Sweden's Cove Collegiate from Monday, March 24th through Wednesday, March 26th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Kevin Hutchinson will have a recap on bgfalconmedia.com.
Ground ball to third base by Katie Jo Morey is recovered by Barrett, thrown over to first base to get Morey by a step. It's first out of the top of the fourth inning. Bowling Green leading 7-0 over the Kent State Golden Flashes in their MAC home opener this season. Krafchick works the outside edge, but it leaves it low and away. She has been obviously shut out through the first three innings, but that third inning especially, an early first and third runners on with no outs for her, and then able to work out of it with two line drives and a strikeout. Was able to get out a pretty big jam, Kevin.
Yeah, and that's what really separates, an above average pitcher from just an average pitcher. The ability to get yourself out of a jam when your back is up against the wall, to work out of that, truly impressive on that last inning.
Ground ball to shortstop now. Addie Martin picks it up, throws over to Hutter, and gets the runner Claire Hout by probably a good 4 steps. Addie Martin's got a heck of an arm.
Yeah.
And on a hard hit ball, Claire Hout really had no chance.
And she's been really, Martin's been really, really reliable so far this game. I feel like I'm just watching the same play copied and pasted with her throwing it to first basically every time. I mean, she's shut out at that shortstop position.
Krafchick with 2 outs now. Paints perfectly on the outside corner. Pitching to a lefty now, Carly Penner. Penner pitched the first inning, is going to continue to hit as a designated hitter now, with the pitcher being Ella Johnson. Flew out to the left fielder in the second inning. It's her only at bat. This one skips over to Chevalier behind the plate, and it'll be ball 1.
Yeah, it's that pitching switch has really made a positive difference for Kent State, but now they have to translate that into offensive success and use their opportunities here to do that.
Penner takes a strike. 1-2. Krafchick is really dotting up that outside black very well, especially with the off speed. She's got some pretty good stuff going. The bender that we saw last inning was very effective. Haven't seen it yet this inning.
Yeah, and I'd say, there
was a fastball. Fly out to left field over the head of Massaro. It'll be chased down by Matthews, who is backing up the play. A double for Carly Penner, who will stand on second base with 2 outs. And that'll bring up the ex-Falcon, Erilyn Nogue, to try and knock in the first run out of the game for the Golden Flashes.
Oh, quite the consequential error there. I think it was just too high. She reached for it, and it just sort of slipped through the glove there. Not the kind of error you want to see for the Falcons.
We'll see what the scorer's decision is.
Center fielder,
2 outs.
number 11.
Runner on second. It brings up Erilyn Nogue.
The ex-Falcon.
The ex-Falcon. Ball left low and away. Penner getting a pretty decently sized secondary off of second base. About a third of the way to third base, making the Falcon defenders think about her. Barron a couple of steps in from third. Hutter standing about even with first base.
And,
waiting for some speed from Penner, I think, saw a little bit of rotation there with Martin heading over to third.
Yeah, and playing your former team just mentally must be an interesting process.
Pop fly to shortstop. Addie Martin standing on the grass makes the catch, puts away the inning for Bowling Green. 1 base runner, 1 hit, no runs allowed, and 1 left on base for Kent State in the top of the 4th. We head to the bottom. BGSU softball on Falcon Radio.
BGSU Softball's Peyton Steffes is this week's Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week. Against Buffalo in the first MAC series of the season, Steffes went 7 for 11 at the plate with 4 RBIs, 3 runs scored, and a stolen base. She also played fantastic right field for Bowling Green, making no errors on her 6 made plays. She has stepped up into a much larger role in 2025 than in 2024, starting 25 games for BG this season compared to 27 games played total last season. Head coach Michelle Gardner has inserted the sophomore into a major role this season and says she challenged Steffes to be better. She was on fire last weekend, and it was awesome to see. This has been your Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week.
Second baseman Hannah Hunt will step up to the plate for Bowling Green. Had walk and then a fly out to the right fielder in her one at bat, technically 2 plate appearances early in the game. This is going to be another fly out to the right fielder if it's handleable by Savannah Wing. She misplays it. It's at the warning track, and it's going to be a 2-base hit for Hannah Hunt.
Wow.
Depends on what they give her. Looked to be a little bit misplayed by Savannah Wing, but again,
Yeah.
probably battling that sun that's glaring down on the right fielders.
Yeah, and that's an excellent play, by Hannah Hunt. I mean, she did well against Green Bay this past week, and obviously continuing that success there.
Going to give her a hit. She's going to get a double, and a leadoff double for Hannah Hunt. Peyton Steffes will step up to the plate now for Bowling Green. A 2 RBI single, 2 singles, and a run scored for Steffes in 2 innings.
And there's
in the 4th now.
There's an opportunity here for Steffes. I mean, we know about her speed, her ability to get on base in a time frame that other players really can't. So, good opportunity for her here.
Another pitch on the outside, and that's in the wheelhouse of the umpire. He's been calling those all day. 0-2. Maybe slightly outside, but at this point, he's calling them almost every time. You got to start swinging the bat.
Yeah.
0-2 now to Steffes with Hunt on second base. And no outs. This one is away, clearly away. So it's going to be a 1-2 count.
Yeah, and
who can't afford situationally to hit a ground ball to the right side of the infield, get that runner over.
Mm-hmm. And if the umpire has a tendency as a pitcher, might as well take advantage of that.
Looks like Ella Johnson knows the situation, is keeping the ball away from Steffes as much as possible. 2-2 now the count. All 4 pitches have been away from Steffes. We'll see what it is here on the 2-2 delivery. Still a little bit away. Stumbling play from Johnson. Johnson barely got Steffes at first base, who stopped it in front of the circle. That advanced the runner, but again, situational hitting from Steffes. That's a successful at bat for her.
Yeah, and that's some better defense from Kent State. Better adjustment. She fell to the ground recovering that ball. Very close play right there.
So the umpire is going to walk out and give Ella Johnson a second to collect herself. And, they might be giving her a look. Catcher is out there as well. She did make an awkward tumble as she made the play. She did make the play, an important factor, but...
Yeah, it was a little bit of an awkward tumble, diving for that ball. Hopefully everything's all right. These BG Falcons getting out to that 7-point lead, great start, but you want to finish. I mean, you want to execute, and this is a doubleheader, so plenty of time, in this game. And in the next game, see how or if things change.
She looks to be hucking fine. Alani Johnson back behind the plate taking warm-up pitches from her. Ella Johnson's still talking. She'll send the coaches back. She is going to be okay. 1 out, runner on third base. Bring up Ava McKee. McKee with 2 walks, 2 plate appearances, no at-bats yet.
Yeah, and she's stepping into a bigger role in this game. I mean, she's only played 8 games, only started 6. So stepping into a bigger role in this game hopefully can string on some plays here.
Yeah, it makes you wonder how formidable the offense would be with Cam Kaufman back in it, as there's a ball on the outside edge. I mean, considering Cam Kaufman, before she got injured, 270 through her 20 games played, 63 at-bats, was one of the MAC leaders in doubles. She had 7 doubles, is currently Bowling Green's leader, and above a 700 OPS as well. And you're mixing that in with McKee, whose OPS is sub 400. So that's a 300-point swing that you have in OPS there from the injury to the designated hitter. 1-1 now to Ava McKee.
Yeah, that's a big old difference for sure, but it gives BG an opportunity to develop a depth piece.
Lays a bunt down perfectly. The throw over to third base, and Hunt is caught in a pickle. Hunt toward home, now has to retreat. McKee's going to be on second base. Tag out by Leilani Johnson. So Hunt is going to be retired on bad base running. Gardner's kind of giving it to her as she heads back to the bench. McKee's going to stand on second base, but it's going to be 2 outs and a loss of a base for Bowling Green.
Yeah, not a great play. That was a tough pickle for Hunt to be caught in. Interesting to wonder what the coach is telling her now.
Fielder's choice is given to McKee. That'll bring up Chevalier. Chevalier had a 2 RBI single, one of 3 2 RBI singles we've seen. A ground ball up the middle to Johnson. Johnson will handle and underhand it easily over to first base to Claire Hout. And he'll retire the bottom of the 4th inning. We'll head to the top of the 5th inning with a 7-0 Bowling Green lead. 6 hits for the Falcons, 4 for Kent State. They'll look to get a couple in the top. You're listening to BGSU Softball on Falcon Radio.
Ever heard of Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcasts on Falcon Radio or WBGU 88.1 FM but don't know where to listen? Well, set down the radio, pick up your phone, and go to bgfalconmedia.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to stream Falcon Radio and WBGU 88.1 FM for all broadcasts.
BGSU women's golf heads south to Georgia State Intercollegiate on Sunday, March 23rd through Tuesday, March 25th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Sean Connolly will have a recap on bgfalconmedia.com.
Reserve Field in the MAC home opener for Bowling Green as they battle with Kent State and are currently putting a pretty good beating on Kent State. 3 runs in the first inning, 4 runs in the second inning, none in the next 2. We're at the top of the 5th with Leilani Johnson, the catcher, leading off, batting 8th for Kent State.
Yeah, and if I'm Kent State, I'm kind of throwing strategy out the window here. I'm just swinging at almost everything because you need to get some offense going. You need to get some runs. Even if it's just a moral victory at this point, you got to put something on the board.
Johnson's had one other at-bat. It was a double. That was more of a misplay by Peyton Steffes, who was battling some sun. This is a line drive ground ball to Addie Martin at shortstop. Who'll take care of the play easily. It's pretty reliable when you hit it to number 0.
Yeah, she's been making those plays. I think that's the 4th such play she's made. She's been there all day long, just a very consistent presence. And it's great when you have that consistent presence at shortstop. Really helps tighten up your defense.
First pitch out for Mackenzie Kravchuk. Settled into a pretty strong point here. Now the ground ball to second base. Hannah Hunt tries to field it on a backhand, but misplays it. It's going to be an error to Hannah Hunt. And a base runner for Kent State. It's Cam Utendorf, the second baseman.
Much better start to the inning for Kent State than past innings, that's for sure.
They do have a base runner. This is going to be the first error of the game for either side. So runner on first base with 1 out. Double play is in order, so the middle infield will play back. Barrett playing even with third base. Hutter playing even with first. Swing and a miss. Delaney Robeson, most dangerous hitter in this Kent State lineup, batting leadoff. Has a chance to do a little bit of damage here with 1 out.
Yeah, but it's great to get that opening strike, maybe get in her head a little bit. Although, with her batting average, she probably doesn't get rattled easily.
1-1 now as the pitch falls in the dirt. Kravchuk has really stepped into something of her own. Had a ERA plus of 6 before her complete game against Green Bay. Now south of 4.5.
Wow. Wow, that's an incredible improvement in a short amount of time.
And considering she's through 4 innings scoreless so far, it's looking even better for her trend. And pairing that with Scarlett Anderson, who is we're assuming is going to get the second game if Krafchick can go the distance.
And it looks like she can. I mean, this is a quick game. We haven't even been here that long, and we're already in the 5th inning here. So it's a quickie for sure.
1-2 count, 1 out. Middle infield back. The corners at distance. Delaney Robeson at the plate, and Krafchick leaves it away. A 2-2 count now.
So that evens up the count, gives everybody a minute to breathe. Robeson really, I mean, she should just be swinging for the fences here. Like I said before, you're running out of time to get something on the board, even if it's just a moral victory going into game 2.
1 pitch plus for the pitcher. Krafchick has one more pitch to get it done. Oh, a nice spinner. Swing and a miss for Delaney Robeson. That's her second strikeout of the game.
Wow.
2 outs.
That pitch was almost like an optical illusion. It kind of just like slowed down midair. I can definitely see how Robeson was fooled by that one.
Bending away from the right-handed batter. Now brings up the lefty, Bryn Libler, and the third baseman. 2 lineouts to Addie Martin at shortstop today, and her 2 other at-bats. This one's fouled out of play.
Yeah, this BG defense, Addie Martin has definitely been the center. She's been playing very well, and that's what you want. You want an infield that really locks up the opposing offense and limits those big plays, which is what BG has done.
Krafchick on the 0-1, low again. We're seeing a similar sequence for Krafchick as of the last couple of innings. If she gets that first pitch strike, she immediately leaves one low. And I think it's been a pretty successful formula, considering she has not given up a run yet, and in this inning is only seeing her 4th batter on an error by the second baseman. Line drive over the head of Hannah Hunt, who tried to make a diving play, running to third base and blowing a tire. The throw to second. Addie Martin goes for the tag, but it's late. It was Cam Utendorf that is going to be safe at second. She blew a tire midway to third base, had to retreat a bag. It's going to be first and second on the single by Bryn Libler.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, those are the plays where if you're rooting for that team, your heart kind of stops. You're hoping they get back to safety in time.
Savannah Wing will step up to the plate. A line drive to left field in her last at-bat, and a line drive to Kendall Matthews, the center fielder for Bowling Green, in her first at-bat. Bat in the first and the third, now in the 5th. Krafchick with 2 outs, runner on first and second. She leaves the first pitch away.
Yeah, Wing has got some power. I mean, you're going to have to play this in a way. I'd play a bit conservative if I was pitching here because, you know, Wing has a lot of power with her swing.
2 home runs, 3 doubles, 1 triple this season. It's bounced up by Krafchick to the plate, so it'll be 2-0.
2-0 count. Yeah, good position for the hitter here.
So you got to come up with something nasty if you're Krafchick to try and even the count back up at 2-1.
Definitely.
Here's the 2-1. Line drive into left center field gap. This will score a run. Rounding first is Wing. Rounding third.
It's going to score 2.
It's going to score 2 runs.
Wow.
Looks like Bryn Libler got a very good jump on that ball. Ended up scoring. It's going to be a 2-run double for Savannah Wing.
Yeah, she
just the first runs of the game for Kent State as well.
She just found a gap in that outfield where there were no defenders out there. Just found a way to squeeze that ball in and finally puts Kent State on the board. Took them a while, but they're on there now.
2 runs now for Kent State. 7-2 Bowling Green lead. Krafchick, as the shutout expired, there was the first pitch strike to Katie Jo Mori.
So is the next pitch going to be low? That's the question.
Well, she threw a first pitch strike. The formula has been similar to that. Gets the sign, checks her card. 0-1 after the windup, swing and a miss. That was an off speed that she put about waist high.
Broke the formula a little bit, and it worked.
Left fielder Katie Jo Mori fly out to right field and the ground ball to the third baseman. She's got a runner on second and 2 outs after the 2-out double by Savannah Wing to score 2.
Important situation.
Krafchick with a pass ball now. It's a 1-2 count and a runner on third base. So not too much affected there, considering a fly ball wouldn't score the runner anyway with the 2 outs.
Right.
But 60 feet closer.
Yeah, still those little mistakes are things you want to clean up for future games against maybe stricter competition.
There's a bender by Krafchick, and she retires the batter, Katie Jo Mori. That's a strikeout swinging for her, and exits the inning for Kent State. Not before they score 2 runs. We step into the bottom of the 5th inning with a 7-2 Bowling Green lead. You're listening to BGSU Softball on Falcon Radio.
To listen to replays of recent Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcasts, tune in to WBGU 88.1 FM every weekday morning from midnight to 3 a.m.
BGSU baseball looks to continue their 10-game winning streak as they face Kent State on Friday, March 21st.
Tune in to Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kaplitz and Chaz McNeil at 2:45 for pregame and 3 p.m. for first pitch on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Massaro, Matthews, and Hutter lead off the 5th inning for Bowling Green. A high pop-up to the shortstop handled by Robeson. It'll be a first out for Hannah Massaro, who is swinging on the first pitch. She had an RBI walk in the 1st inning, a ground ball to third base, and now a pop fly to the shortstop. He's 0 for 2 with an RBI.
BG and Kent State have the same amount of hits at 6, but Bowling Green has been much more efficient in turning those hits into runs.
Kendall Matthews steps up to the plate, leaves one inside, had a deep fly ball to center field that Erilyn Noge in center was able to wrangle in the 1st inning. In the 2nd inning, she had a strikeout, and she did both of those with 5 runners left on base.
Wow.
In total, only 6 for Bowling Green, none for Kent State. I'm sorry, 5 for Kent State, so she's got the same amount of runners left on base as Kent State has.
Wow.
Herself has been put in pretty big situations, just not able to get a swing yet. She's got no runners on now. And a 1-1 count with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Leaves another one high.
Infield very enthusiastic about this at-bat here.
Ella Johnson has brought a little bit of new life to Kent State after giving up 4 runs in the 2nd inning. Has worked a 1-2-3 3rd inning, only a 4-batter 4th inning with some base running gas from BG. Now gets the first out in the 3rd inning or the 4th inning of work, I should say.
Yeah, this Johnson and Johnson duo has stepped up midway through this game to try to at least salvage something for the Golden Flashes to get some momentum going into Game 2 here in a couple hours.
Full count to Matthews, who's 0 for 2, playing center field today as well. The full count, left inside. It's going to be a walk to Kendall Matthews, who will take her first bag of the game and bring up the top of the order, Katie Hutter.
Yeah, you don't want your first bag of the game to be a walk. I mean, you'd rather it be a hit, but she'll certainly take it.
8 walks in the game now for Bowling Green.
Wow. How
Hutter.
many for Kent State?
Looks to be 0. Mackenzie Krafchick been very efficient with how she's peppering the zone. Painted on the outside edge. Ella Johnson with a very beautiful pitch. Runner on first base, Kendall Matthews. Double play is in order for the middle infield. Corners are pinching a little bit. Katie Hutter does not bunt too much. Hutter leaves one outside. Oh, that's a strike.
What have we been saying about that umpire with that left side?
Looked to be a little bit of dirt between the ball and the plate, but it's an 0-2 count for Hutter. Have to battle back from it. A strikeout looking in the 3rd inning. Now bats in the 5th. The 0-2, that one is outside.
Yeah, that
so
one was
1-2 count.
That one was clearly outside. I think there would have been some boos from the crowd if that would have been called a strike.
Martin on deck, Barrett in the hole. Both hitters have had pretty good days so far. 3 runs scored between those two. Katie Hutter has scored 2 out of her 3 times, flies it out to left field, handled by Maury. It's going to hold the runner at first base. 2 outs now as Addie Martin steps up to the plate.
Wow. And then now you see this Kent State defense. They're tightening up. They're playing with more intensity. They're playing with more cohesion. And they're after a while, actually building some momentum, holding the Falcons down.
It also helps when your starting pitcher in the last 3 innings has given up only 1 hit and 1 walk. Left 2 runners stranded on base so far. This is a fly ball into deep left field, and it's gone for Addie Martin, a 2-run bomb for the redshirt freshman. That's her 10th of the season, double digit for Addie Martin. She crosses home for the 10th time, gives Bowling Green a 9-2 lead.
Wow, she has to be the player of this game. I mean, the plays that she was making on defense, and then that bomb right there, that was just an incredible hit right over to left field.
Matthews scores, Martin scores. That's Matthews' first run of the game. That's Martin's second run of the game and her second hit of the game as well.
Wow.
Fantastic player. What a great swing, too, putting it right on top of the Bowling Green bullpen that is luckily covered by netting. Taylor Barrett takes one high.
I still can't get over that play. That was an amazing I mean, that's why you watch softball, baseball, for moments like that. Just amazing hit out to left field.
Barrett with a 1-0 count. Tough to follow up what Addie Martin has done this season, batting in the 2-hole.
Still there, you got to try.
2-0 count now, Taylor Barrett. A hit and a walk and a fly out to right field. And her other 3 plate appearances. 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored for Barrett as well. Takes one right down the middle.
Yeah,
on a 2-0. I mean, that's a swinging count. She just took a piped pitch.
Yeah, that's always a little disappointing to see, but she's been productive today. Like you said, 2 RBIs, 2 runs. She's been efficient so far.
Playing very good third base as well. Swing and a miss, up and away. Going to be 2-2 with 2 outs. No runners on now as Addie cleared them all off. The number 9 will try to get things going again with 2 outs. Barrett, Hunt on deck. Steph is in the hole. Order turned over for the 4th time today this inning.
The speed with which Bowling Green is going through the batting order is truly incredible for this game.
Barrett will take time on a full count, 2 outs. 9-2 lead for Bowling Green in the bottom of the 5th inning.
This would be a big stop for Kent State.
Pop fly over to the first base side at the first base line. The second baseman ranging in, making a basket catch. That's Utendorf, who puts away the inning for Bowling Green, puts away the half inning and the full inning. 2 runs for both sides. It's a 9-2 game, still a 7-run lead for BG as we head into the top of the 6th. You're listening to BGSU Softball on Falcon Radio.
Looking for a BG Athletics discussion show? Check out The Swoop, where a rotating cast of Falcon Media Sports Network co-hosts talk everything BGSU athletics. New episodes are available every Tuesday at 6 p.m. on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com. Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
Mackenzie Kravchuk takes the circle again and puts an early strike on the batter, Megan Clairhout. Actually, looking at the box score from the last inning in the 5th inning, should have probably been out of the inning easier. There was an error by Hannah Hunt at second base that led to both runs being scored, so it should be unearned runs for Mackenzie Krafchick. Only 2 of them still, and a 7-run lead for Bowling Green. A 1-1 now count as Krafchick loses that one a little bit into the left-handed batter's box away from the right-handed hitter.
And you definitely, in a 3-game series and at the top of a doubleheader, you want to start strong. Bowling Green has done that. Now it's just about closing.
No earned runs for Krafchick officially on only the 2 given up on the 2-out error by Hannah Hunt. This pitch inside for ball 2. 2-1 the count with no outs in the top of the 6th inning. Fly ball to right field. Steph is battling the sun. Puts the catch on. She's got a hat, sunglasses, using her mitt, using her other hand there as well, and won the battle.
Yeah, battled it successfully that time. I mean, we remember earlier in the game when she lost, she fell victim to the sun, finally defeating it that time.
Carly Penner steps up. She has got a double, but was stranded on second base in the 4th inning. Also had a fly out to the left fielder in the 2nd inning. That's her only 2 at-bats. Started the game as well, gave up 3 runs. Right now would get handed the loss unless Kent State's able to score another run or so. And it would be given to the second pitcher, Ella Johnson, who is currently still in the game. In the circle, I should say, for Kent State. 2-0 now as Krafchick leaves it low. How many 2-0 counts do we think Krafchick has worked her way into today? Probably not a lot. She's done a very good job of jumping ahead.
Yeah, she has done a very good job of jumping ahead, managing the game, managing situations, and that's all you can ask of your pitcher.
2-run double in the last inning after the error. Gave Kent State their first 2 runs of the game and of the weekend series as well. A game about 30 minutes after this one ends, and then a game tomorrow at 2 o'clock as well. We'll have the broadcast on WBGU 88.1 FM. 2-1 count. Line drive between first and second base. It'll be fielded by Steffes and a single for Carly Penner. It's her second hit of the game, making up for a little bit of pitching gaffes with some offense.
Yeah, and that was some just right between the 2 defenders. I mean, Kent State is going to look obviously wishing they would have had more of that sooner, but in Game 2 today and then Game 3 tomorrow, they'll be looking to build on line drives just like that.
Up steps the ex-Falcon, Erilyn Nogue, playing center field. Pop out to the shortstop in her last at-bat. And a ground ball to Hannah Hunt at second base in her at-bat before that in the 2nd inning. The pitch is high. She lets it go. One of the best at getting on base on the Kent State team. .391 on-base percentage is 3rd on the team, behind only Delaney Robeson and Kendall Leitner, who lead the team in batting average.
Ooh.
Oh, liner back up to Mackenzie Krafchick. She catches it, throws it over to first base to try and double up Penner. But it squeaks by Barrett. Didn't think the throw beat her anyway. I don't know how Krafchick caught that ball.
That hit her
I don't
right
think she
in the
know how
chest.
she caught that ball.
No, you see the team gathering around her, talking about that. She's reenacting it. I mean,
umpire
pretty cool play.
Walked out to give her a second. It looks like she's fine. I mean, she says she's fine. She tells Gardner not to come outside the chalk. Gardner's just making sure. Nobody in the bullpen for Bowling Green, so.
Guess that's why they call it a softball. It's a soft ball.
Well, I don't think it really is, but
softer.
I think she thankfully caught it more with the mitt than she did with her body. But she caught it, got the out, and it's 2 outs now with the runner on first base. And Leilani Johnson coming up as a catcher, batting 8th. Had a double, advanced to third base earlier in the game, but was stranded there with no outs. Krafchick was able to work out 3 straight batters at the top of the order. Now she takes one high for 1-0.
Yeah, that was a tough situation for her, being stranded on third. Oh.
Fouled back behind the press box. Johnson put a good swing on it. She was on it, but 1-1 count for Krafchick. It was back up to even.
Flew right over us.
Should have got your mid out, Kevin.
I didn't bring it. I'll have to bring it for Game 2.
Yep.
Run home.
Krafchick in the dot. The wind up with the right hand. Ground ball to third base. Barrett handles it, throws over to first, and gets the catcher, Leilani Johnson. Retires the top of the 6th inning. 0 runs scored on 1 hit for Kent State. We head to the bottom with Bowling Green sporting a 9-2 lead. BGSU softball on Falcon Radio.
This is Phil Beskid, BGSU Radio Faculty Advisor. You can catch all the Falcon Media Sports Network broadcasts on our two stations, WBGU 88.1 FM and Falcon Radio, which can both be found on bgfalconmedia.com. Ziggy.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Leading off for the Falcons in the bottom of the sixth inning, it's Hannah Hunt, then Peyton Steffes, then Ava McKee, the designated hitter. Hunt will step up to the plate, having already got her hit for the game. She's 1 for 2 with a double. Got some bad base running gaffes as well. Has been thrown out on the third baseline twice. Once on a fielder's choice by Ashley Chevalier, the other time getting caught in a pickle on a ground ball to the third baseman.
Yeah, and she was against Green Bay. I mean, she had one hit and 1 RBI, so she had a decent game, but struggling defensively today.
Ground ball up the middle, diving play by Robeson to knock it down, and Hunt is safe at first base as she beats out the play. Not the fastest, but quick enough of foot. I think if Robeson caught that cleanly, diving over toward the second base bag, she might have been able to make the play, but fumbled a little bit, and just a step late.
Hey, but that's okay. I mean, if you're running the bases or running from a bear, you just need to be quick enough.
Hunt is going to be given a hit. Early base runner for Bowling Green, leadoff base runner. Steffes shows bunt, tries to drag it, but doesn't even get it down. It's caught by Leilani Johnson. We'll see if Steffes shows it again to try and get Hunt over. Falcons not really aching for runs. A 9-2 lead is quite sizable, especially the way Kravchik has pitched.
Yeah, she's done just an excellent job. You know, like we said pregame, getting ahead of the count, setting the team up in favorable situations. But if I'm the Falcons, I don't want this game to drag on forever. I want to get it over with so I can move on to game 2, get a bit of a break, and just move forward.
Steffes did not show bunt. She let it go outside for 1-1. Now a single up the middle, hugs the ground a little bit. Hunt will stay at second base as Nogue's got a cannon in center field. So it'll be first and second on back-to-back singles, one from Steffes, one from Hunt. That'll bring up Ava McKee, who's been on base 3 times, 2 on walks. She's 0 for 1 on her 4th inning at bat. She had a fielder's choice, was stranded on second base.
And it's good, you know, it's good for McKee to get this exposure and get developed. Obviously, she's more of a depth piece, but good for depth pieces to get some action.
Shows bunt, but doesn't get it down. It'll be a foul ball back to the screen. Ava McKee has only got 1 RBI this season, and that was against Buffalo in the first game that Bowling Green won against Buffalo. Didn't have a hit on it, though. It was a sacrifice. That's the only thing she's really done for Bowling Green. Got a hit in there as well. One hit on 17 at-bats. She had a 1 at-bat, so she's 1 hit on 18 at-bats now. She's down to 0-2 as she takes one over the middle.
She's getting some more exposure today.
The 0-2 from Johnson, and it's fouled off by McKee. Good defending the plate. We haven't talked too much about how well Ella Johnson has pitched since the second inning. Came in kind of cold, gave up 4 runs in that second inning with Bowling Green still with a lot of momentum. Stifled him in the third, went 1-2-3, and since then has held him off pretty effectively. Even that 2-run 5th inning was not too much, and it was more manufactured by Bowling Green, less of bad pitching by Johnson.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Johnson wasn't the starter for this game, given how well she's done down the stretch. She's just been efficient, getting ahead of the count, setting up good situations, and I think she'll be the starter for game 2 for sure.
2-2, up and away. McKee trying to work back from an 0-2 count. Is taking it to 2 balls, fought off a pitch as well. Has a runner on second and a runner on first with no outs. Pops it in the air, but down the first base line and outside of the fence. Unplayable.
Somebody in the fan section over there tried to cover their head with a blanket. I don't know if that really would have helped.
Yeah,
but
probably not. I would imagine not, but you do what you can.
Yeah.
There's a chance.
I would have just tried to catch it bare.
2-2 from Johnson. Hits McKee. She'll take a base. She had a guard there as well. It'll be bases loaded with no outs for Ashley Chevalier.
Now, this would be a great situation for Chevalier just to bomb it, get at least one of these runners home just to close the game on an even stronger note, because at this point, we're talking about a doubleheader. You're looking to get momentum going into game 2. Why not score again?
So we're going to get a pinch runner. It looks like Reagan Stephanie is going to step up for Bowling Green to be that pinch runner. Stephanie with 3 runs scored this season, 1 stolen base, has nowhere to steal now because it's a full count, but still has the chance to score as there's 1 out. Chevalier probably going to try and keep the ball off the ground. The infield is playing in. Second baseman and shortstop are inside of the baseline, or the runner's line. The corners are in as well.
Interesting, they're playing tight.
Trying to cut off that run, limit the bleeding as much as you can. No outs, and bases loaded is tough to come back from. Ground ball to Chevalier. The throw home, gets the runner at home, but nothing after that. It'll still be bases loaded. They just got to run. It'll be the 3rd time today that Hannah Hunt will be thrown out trying for home.
Wow. Ooh, that's a peculiar stat for that to happen 3 times.
The fielder's choice for Chevalier. Actually, her second of the game. Her first in the first inning resulted in the same play. Hunt thrown out. Steph is advancing to 3rd. McKee advancing to 2nd. Chevalier getting first base. They'll bring up Hannah Massaro in the first inning in the same situation. She got an RBI walk.
Yeah, Massaro always seems to show that bunt early, but then switch back to a normal swing.
Yeah, slashes a lot of the time. Did it a lot against Green Bay on Tuesday. Didn't actually go down to bunt. Bunting in a bases loaded situation wouldn't be too wise.
No.
So it's probably more of a rhythm thing at this situation. 1-1 the count. Johnson got 1 out. The double play is in order, but the middle infield is still playing even with the baseline. Swing and a miss by Massaro. It's 1-2 now.
Good strike by Johnson there.
It'll be a big out to get if you're Ella Johnson to try and get out of the inning.
Oh, definitely. Like you said, you want to stop that bleeding as much as you can.
Massaro takes 1 high. I don't know if she knew that was a ball, but she took it anyway. It's 2-2 count now.
Yeah, that looked awfully close to me, but from my perspective up here, maybe I'm skewed a little bit.
Looked like it very well could have been a strike. Might have glanced. Pop fly up to left field. Ranging back is Maury. She makes the catch. The runner tags and comes home. Steffes, there is no way that they were going to get Steffes on any throw. You would need a literal cannon out there. That's going to be a run rule win for Bowling Green. 10-2 through 6 innings of play on the pop fly from Hannah Massaro and the sacrifice fly by Hannah Massaro that got Steffes in. 10-2 win for Bowling Green over Kent State in their first home MAC matchup of the season. 9 hits for Bowling Green, 7 hits for Kent State, and Mackenzie Krafchick gets a complete game and a win again for the second time this week, actually, after Bowling Green going 0 for the entire season in complete games.
Wow. Yeah, Krafchick's having a really excellent week, and, Steffes, the speed machine, there was no stopping her from getting home on that last play of the game there.
9 hits to 7 for Bowling Green. 6 runners left on base, which is the same. A couple less at bats. Bowling Green had 1 less double. 1 more home run. 10 RBIs to Kent State's 2, 7 walks to Kent State's 0, and 2 strikeouts to Kent State's 3. So Kent State with 3 strikeouts and 0 walks. Bowling Green with 2 strikeouts and 7 walks. Much better in that department. Over 1,000 OPS on the game for the Falcons. All 0 earned runs for Bowling Green as well, as Mackenzie Krafchick pitched a gem of a game. 7 hits, 2 runs, none earned, 6 innings pitched, 83 pitches, and 26 batters faced, and only 2 of them cross plate, none of which were attributed to her. Krafchick was the MVP of this game for Bowling Green, frankly, considering how well she pitched and how much of a chance of winning she gave Bowling Green.
Yeah, definitely. And that's where, in each sport you have your star player. I mean, football, you have your quarterback, but in baseball, it's that pitcher and their ability to set your team up to win, set your team up in good situations. And Kravchuk just did an excellent, excellent job of that. I thought Addie Martin, also worth mentioning, not only her home run, but her defensive plays. I think she was also an extremely valuable part of this win.
Yeah, Addie Martin had a home run and a double. She had 2 hits on 3 at-bats, I should say. She was 2 for 3 with 2 runs, 2 RBIs, a home run, and a double. That's 2 extra base hits added to this season. And like you said, playing fantastic shortstop as well. Taylor Barrett had 2 hit and a walk, 2 runs, 2 RBIs as well. Hadn't reached base since the second inning, however. Those first 2 innings for Bowling Green really was the definition of the game. 7 runs scored on 5 hits and 7 walks with 5 runners still left on base, all of them attributed to Kendall Matthews. Could have been a lot worse if you're Kent State.
Yeah, definitely. And Kent State managed to stop the bleeding, but it's going to be interesting to see how Game 2 pans out. Kent State, I think, is going to try to be aggressive early, make a statement early, similar to what BG did, and we're going to see how that game progresses in a little bit.
We shall see. 30 minutes between now and the time of the next game starting. About then, we will make an announcement and jump back on as soon as that game happens. So don't change the channel. Stay on Falcon Radio. But if you want to listen to the Bowling Green men's baseball team play against Kent State at 3 p.m., they have a single game over there at Stellar Field that's getting ready to get started here in a little bit. That game being broadcast on WBGU 88.1 FM. So you can tune into that for a little bit and come back in about 30 minutes when we have the second game of Bowling Green Kent State softball here at Meserve Field. You're listening to BGSU softball on Falcon Radio.
This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.